Why, hello. Midway Piper here. I hope all is going well. I'm going to do something a little different today. It's a coffee chat. Oh, hold on. Nice coffee with nice hot coffee with some pumpkin spice creamer in it. Yes. Getting my basic white self on. Yep, it happened. But I mean, look at this. Look at that. Right? Well, all that. Yeah, all that stuff. It is 49 degrees out here. It is fall, and that means pumpkin spice. Okay? Deal with it. If you want to unsubscribe because I like pumpkin spice, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry, but it is what it is. Anyways, it's going to be a long-awaited books video. I haven't done one of those for a while, and I'll explain why in just a moment. But first, housekeeping. This is the Tinsky Pipe Cottage rusticated apple. And in it, I have the perfect match for it. It is the Old Home Place blend that was very temporarily made by our friends over at, there we go, Country Squire. So, okay, perfect. So, I have not done a book video for a while. And this was actually not the video I was going to make today. I might make another one later today. We'll see. Most likely I will, because yesterday, the last 2 days, have been rough. And it ended yesterday with a big old shitty waste of my time end of the last 2 days. So we'll talk about that probably in another video. Stick to the books. Stick to the books on this one. Thank you guys that watch my videos for the books because it keeps me going on reading books. Now, I have not I have a lot of things happening simultaneously in my life, and every single one of them pretty much has been so far over my head as far as things that I've ever dealt with. I have no experience in. And learning about it real fast. I've been doing a lot of heavy deep dives into these various topics, and I'll cover them over time, but as things pan out, hopefully. Unlike yesterday. But I've had to do a lot of deep dives, and it's been a lot of online research, a lot of watching YouTube videos on things, and my mind is, because it's just so out of my wheelhouse and so overwhelming at this point, sitting and reading or even listening to an audiobook has just been difficult for me lately. So I really haven't been reading all that much, to be perfectly honest. Hopefully pieces of the puzzle will start to fall into place over these next couple of weeks, and we'll talk about that stuff as it comes. But for right now, it's just so much weighing on me, things that I just have never had any scope of. So I've been spending all my time in YouTube University. So, that being said, I got 2 new books. And I've been dipping in and out of a couple of other books. So I will go over the new books first. One of them just happens to be the current audiobook that I'm listening to, and you'll see why in just a moment. The 2 books I bought, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't even remember pre-ordering this book, but it showed up at my doorstep, so hey. The new Michael Connelly, Lincoln Lawyer book. I think I own every Michael Connelly, just about every Michael Connelly book. Pretty much all in hardcover. I had actually mentally told myself, probably after I had pre-ordered this and forgot about it, that I don't tend to... The likelihood of me going back and rereading his books is not super high. They're good books, don't get me wrong, they're great books, great stories. I just don't know if there's much repeat value in them. So the fact that I have 3 bookshelves full of Michael Connelly books might be a bit much. So I was going to actually stop ordering or stop purchasing his books and just do the audio. But it showed up. So I'll read it. I'm going to, obviously, I'm happy to read it. Continue on with the Lincoln Lawyer series. So that was book number 1. The other book, this one I've been waiting so long for. Such a long time. And I pre-ordered it through Barnes & Noble. And I really don't like doing that. Because Barnes & Noble baffles me. Barnes & Noble, every single time, will get a book delivered to my doorstep the day after release date. Now you might think, oh, I'll get it, pre-order it, so that way I'll get it on release day. No, never. Never have I got a book on release day from Barnes & Noble. It is always the day after release date, which, you know, I wasn't, whatever. Okay, I'll show you why I got it through Barnes & Noble, though. Before I light my pipe back up, I will show you, actually, since I have both hands available now. Ta-da! I am a fan of Stephen King. I do enjoy reading his books. I am not a fan of his politics. I am not a fan of how much he shoves that down your throat in his last mini books, but it pulls you out of this story. I'll leave it there. But I still love his stories. I love his books. Probably my second favorite horror author, depending, I almost like some of his stuff even better, is one of his sons, Joe Hill. Joe Hill. And as you can see, his newest book, King Sorrow, came out. This is a doorstopper. It is, I think, just over 900 pages. This is the first book he's released in about 10 years. And I had to get this. I had to buy this signed edition when I saw that they were offering it. Boom. So I've been listening to this slowly on audio. Great book so far. Yesterday I had to stop listening to it. The experience I'll talk about in the next video. Just pissed me off so much on my drive home. Had it on and I had to stop because I was like, I'm just stewing right now in anger and I'm not paying any attention to this book. So I'm slowly making progress through it. Again, around 900 pages, so it's going to take a little while. All right, so the other books I've been dipping in and out of, well, I guess one that I'm not dipping in and out of, I'm actively reading through it. I think I showed you guys this already before. Reading through the Quran to see what that's all about. Again, don't be making judgments if you don't know what you're talking about, right? So, reading through it to figure it out, and I'm getting there, getting through it. I actually do enjoy reading this. There's quite a bit of good stuff in it, so I am enjoying reading through this. And again, slowly, very slowly. It's interesting. There's hints of things that you know from the Bible, but there's sort of different twists on some of the stories. And but again, you know, one of the things that a lot of people will read through the Bible to pick up is sort of life advice, how to live, and there is tons of great stuff in this. Tons of great stuff on the best ways to live. See if I have anything. Let's see. I've actually been going through and highlighting a whole bunch of stuff in here. Yeah, I'll find some verses and I'll do some of that in another video. Here's a good one real quick. Devil discouraging charity. The devil threatens you with the prospect of poverty and bids you to the shameful deed of stinginess, while Allah promises you forgiveness and great bounties from him, and Allah is all bountiful and all knowing. So an interesting take on stinginess, sort of allocating to who that is due to. So, alongside that, I've also been reading through The Crisis of Islam, Holy War and Unholy Terror. It's sort of a brief, and it's a small book, sort of a brief overview of the involvement of the world in the Middle East and why there's so much animosity towards the West in the Middle East. So again, knowledge. Now, I guess the one I've been dipping in and out of more than anything else is a book that was talked about on a channel called Back 40 Bandit. And in some of his videos, he just sort of opened the book and picked a couple of sections from the book and read them. And I was like, oh, sounds like some interesting stuff. So I picked up a copy of it, Riches Within Your Reach by Robert Collier. And it's a pretty hefty book. But I just sort of been opening it up and reading passages randomly, highlighting things that speak. So I figure I'll go ahead and end the video with one of those little segments. So again, this is called Riches Within Your Reach by Robert Collier. All right. There is something about praying for others that oftentimes does one more good than praying for oneself. You see, you cannot give anything to others without first possessing it yourself. When you wish another evil, you draw that evil to yourself first, and you usually get a part of it. When you bring good to another, you bring it through yourself, and you share in it. I think most of us can probably relate to that, right? Yesterday, again, I was stewing in anger over an event that happened, and if I haven't dropped enough hints yet, I'll discuss it in an upcoming video. And you know, it was one event, and I was just so angry, and it affected the rest of my day. It affected every interaction I had with other people for the rest of the day. And I'm sure that, you know, I was not necessarily the nicest individual in the world last night, and you know, those people didn't have the experience. They could have been having a fantastic day, and then I came in and turned the end of their day shitty. They weren't even involved, right? So yeah. All right. I know that wasn't the most exciting book video. It wasn't a book haul or anything like that. But like I said, I've got so much going on right now. And, you know, they are big life-changing decisions that will have a significant impact on the way that my family lives. Potentially for the rest of my life, my wife's life, and with any luck, my son. And with even more luck, my grandchildren. So, you know, I'm 37 right now. And so to be making decisions at that age that will affect the rest of my life significantly, it's stressful. It is very stressful. So anyways, that's about it. I don't know why this does not want to stay lit today. This blend is well over a year old, so it shouldn't be that moist. All right, that's it for today, or for now. I'll put out another video, maybe later today, about my terrible no good experience yesterday. So I'll talk to you then. Bye.